What's the NFL thinking about now? You're hearing so much about not replaying this game. I think we can be rest assured this game's not going to be resumed, that it's over, and that they're not going to send these two teams back with the wounds so raw, mental wounds obviously so raw. So that, assuming that, what is on the table, best you can tell right now as we're talking here on a Thursday?
So they've worked through a lot of, I know, like, they've worked through a lot of different, like, possibilities, and there was one actually that did include resuming the game that I don't think got much traction at all, but that was of creating a Week 19 and having a standalone Bills-Bengals game and eliminating the Super Bowl bye week. I think the problem with that is it sort of creates a competitive advantage for everybody but the Bills and Bengals, right? So you'd actually, like, materially be sort of punishing the Bills and Bengals, where every other playoff team would get a bye week except those two. I think that this, like you said, is trending towards being declared a no contest, and then it sort of comes down to how you're doing the seeding. Some of the ideas out there, I know Adam Schefter said one that I'd heard too, which was the almost like the cut the cake solution, which is to allow the Chiefs, if they win on Saturday, to pick but not have both, whether or not they would be the 1 seed or host the AFC Championship game. In essence, either pick whether or not you want the bye week or a home AFC Championship game. I think there's some fairness in that. There's the idea of adding the eighth playoff team, which, in that case would, let's call it what it is, the NFL would be adding inventory there, but also sort of level the playing field as far as that number 1 seed goes. So they're working through all of that now and trying to be as fair as they can be, because if you just go strictly on win percentage, it's interesting. The Chiefs would be the chief beneficiary here, because the Chiefs didn't control the 1 seed before 8 p.m. on Monday. They would control the 1 seed in that scenario. And not only that, they also wouldn't be able to fall any further than 2. You'd be taking the Bengals out of the running for the 2nd seed, because the Bengals then wouldn't be able to catch the Chiefs, which wasn't the case at 8 p.m. on Monday. And that would mean, potentially the Bengals having to go to Arrowhead in the 2nd round through no fault of their own. So I think, they're just trying to find the fairest way to deal with this, realizing that there probably is going to be some level of inequity in whatever they do.
There is no question there's going to be some level of inequity. Certainly if the Chiefs wind up as the 1 seed, they lost to the 2 teams that couldn't finish their game on Monday night through no fault of their own, and so, that's and the whole thing about, getting home field advantage for the AFC Championship game. But what if you select home field advantage for the AFC Championship game, but you get bounced in the wild card round that you just chose, or so clearly you're going to take a bye, you get healthier, and you get into the 2nd round of the playoffs. And certainly, if part of this construct is that if you take on another team that doesn't have the same number of regular season games played as you for the championship game, that goes to a neutral site. So why wouldn't you take the bye week? Because your divisional round game that you go right into is a home game, and that invariably you're going to have to play your game outside of your home stadium anyway. You might as well just take the bye. I'm just thinking, if you add an 8th playoff team, obviously that adds remarkable interest to Week 18. There are a whole bunch of new fan bases that that are now interested in the Sunday proceedings. And then you give the bye week to the top 2. You don't just remove the bye week, because you can't just tell the Eagles, hey, great job being the last remaining undefeated team and winning all those games in the NFC. You no longer have a bye week. You now got to take on the Washington Commanders, the team that actually handed you your first loss of the season. You can't do that. So you give a bye week to the top 2, and then you have seeds 3 through 8 go ahead and play it out. And the most inequitable aspect would be, say, the Bills or the Bengals being that 3 seed. Because if you look at the Bengals, remember, I know I'm getting really arcane here. Certainly somebody who's driving into a listening audience that doesn't have this information in front of them, or viewing audience. But the Bengals have a better strength of victory than the Bills. So if the Bills lose to the Patriots and the Bengals beat the Ravens, then they would be the 2 seed. So the Bengals and Bills are still kind of, although not against each other, playing it out for a bye week anyway. The Chiefs getting a bye week as one or the two, and so now you're actually giving a bye week to a team in the NFC that might not get it. No one's going to complain about that, I imagine, except maybe the Vikings saying, "Hey, I didn't know if we were playing for a bye week." But I'm just laying that all out. Like that may be the solution.
So I'm like a little confused by what you're saying, though, Rich. Like when you say the top two seeds would
go.
You give the top two teams
a bye,
byes,
just like old school.
then 3 through 8 play each other.
Yes.
But then you don't have 5 teams in each conference still alive. You couldn't do that, could you?
Well, you'd have 3 play 8, and 4 would play 7, and 5 would play 6. So you'd have 3 wild card games in each conference anyway. Just like you're going to have.
So you have those 3 alive, but then you have 5 left at the end of that on each conference.
Someone would still need a bye. In the second
so it would
round.
have to be 1-8, 2-7. I don't think there's any way to do that because then it's like you still need to have a team with a bye like the week after that. You know what I mean?
All right. We don't know what we're talking about, in other words.
Math is tough.
Yeah, more verbal. I don't know what the answer is, brother.
So but I think it would, if you're doing a 16-team bracket, I would think you would almost have to do it unless you want to extend the playoffs by a week.
No way. No, you can't do that. No, I guess then nobody gets a bye.
You can't do that. You can't.
I don't think you can do that either.
No one gets a bye.
You just can't. That's it.
You can't really change the rules of engagement on the Eagles, can you? So then you do like an 18 bracket just in the AFC. Is that? I mean, it's just
no.
It's
can't do that either.
I mean, I think like I personally think, Rich, it's like you have to find a fair way to seed them, and whether it's splitting the baby, like which I think is like fine. You know what I mean? Like choose the 1 seed or choose the bye, like choose home field in the AFC title game or choose the bye. Like I think that's fairish, right? Like because at least then it's like okay, like there's a choice there. You know what I mean? Like and so you're rewarding the Chiefs for getting to 14 wins, but you're not like hitting the Bills over the head with it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I mean, like that seems like it would be the fairest way to do it. And again, like I think what's really tough about it is just like the win percentage thing would, if you just go strictly on win percentage, it rewards a team, and you just said this, but it rewards a team in the Chiefs that lost head-to-head.
Yeah, to both teams trying to chase them down and that didn't have the opportunity to try and do it. You know, I mean, that's I don't know how we do this.
Like, and when we went into Monday night, like that's the thing. Like the Bills controlled the 1 seed, and the Bengals had a shot at it too. You know what I mean? Like because the Bengals, if you have a 3-way tie, the Bengals beat both those teams.
Yes.
Because they would need to beat Buffalo to get into the 3-way tie.
Look, if the Chiefs
now all of a sudden,
right, exactly. If the Chiefs beat the Raiders, if the Chiefs beat,
would have been Bengals 1, Bills 2, Chiefs 3.
If the Chiefs beat the Raiders, the Bengals wouldn't have been able to catch the Chiefs anyway, despite having already beaten them. So that's one thing. It would just basically be the Buffalo Bills not having an opportunity to put their head-to-head tiebreak on the table by the end of the day and say what's what's up with that. So maybe if the Chiefs win, then the Bills and the Chiefs get played where? In like it would have to be outdoors, right? You're not putting that in a dome because those are 2 outdoor stadiums. I don't know. Indianapolis is a dome. I don't know. You got to go outdoors somewhere cold.
I mean, Indianapolis is sort of like halfway, right? Like I don't know if to put it outside or not. Like
or you open the roof.
That right?
You know, Irsay always tweets out whether the roof's open. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.